Did you know there's a handheld about the size of a fat $50? Let's talk about that. Hello and welcome to Modern Broadcast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Funkey-S, which is a foldable portable emulation device that is designed to fit onto a keychain. The Funkey-S is heavily modeled after the Gameboy Advance SP and is currently available in 3 colors: purple, retro gray, and atomic purple. The one we have here today is the retro gray. Let's go ahead and unbox it. Alright, so here we have the Funkey-S box. This is the retro gaming gray. The box doesn't really have a whole lot to talk about. It's pretty minimal, and yeah, not really much here. So looks like we got an image on the front, but that's about it. So let's go ahead and open this up and get started. So upon opening the box, we see we have the device itself, which is Funkey-S. This is very, very small. Let's go ahead and pull this out. Underneath the device, looks like we have a micro USB charge cable. Oh, some replacement buttons. And we have a little booklet. Looks like it labels our shortcuts. And our select button is an FN button. Okay, a function button. The whole device is open source. The Funkey-OS based on Linux kernel. All the application software and drivers. Electronic design and mechanical design. And there's a GitHub for the project. I'll go ahead and have a link in the description below where you can download that. Transferring files is connect a USB cable to a computer. Go to the above menu from the launcher and confirm by pressing A. Your Funkey-S is now in a USB memory stick. Simply copy and paste your files to the dedicated folders. Let's take a look at the device. Here we have the clamshell Funkey-S. Looks like we have a little hook here that we could hook on. Like we got a little LED indicator light and our lip to lift the lid. On the side here we have the micro USB charge port. Looks like we got our right and left buttons. That appears to be it. Let's go ahead and open this up. Alright, so here we have it. I had to charge it up when I opened it. It didn't actually turn on. So now we got a full charge going. This thing is insanely tiny. About as long as my index finger. This thing is very small. As we see here, it says Game Boy. Apparently this thing can support all the way up to PlayStation 1. I really want to test that out and see if you can play PlayStation 1 on such a tiny device. Let's go ahead and load up some files and get this thing going. Okay, with our Funkey now plugged into our computer, I went ahead and opened up the USB drive for it. And it looks like the device can support many systems, such as the Atari Lynx, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Gear, native games, Neo Geo Pocket, NES, TurboGrafx 16, PlayStation 1, Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, Super Nintendo, and the WonderSwan. I'm real curious to test out PlayStation 1 on this little tiny device. But let's go ahead and transfer over some of our game files. So I already pulled over a few games. For Game Boy Advance, you see I have a BIOS file. So you'll see any system that requires a BIOS on the fun key, there will be a BIOS folder in there. So we're just going to drag and drop this into that folder. So that system will work. Not all systems require that, but there are a few in here that do. Sega Genesis says it does, so I'm curious what happens if we just don't transfer a BIOS folder or a BIOS file. Alright, now that we got all those transferred, let's go ahead and go back to our fun key device. Alright, now here we are back on our fun key. And here are some games that kind of came with it, the homebrew. We see there's our Tetris game we put on. There's our Pokemon Polished Crystal. So it looks like we didn't transfer over any media art. So none of the art scraped over. We could probably just do that by adding those PNG files with the same file name. There we have it. It's booting up just fine. And it's actually quite loud. Go ahead and see if we can get this closer to the mic so you can hear that. This is running at full speed. I mean, yes, it's Pokemon. It's nothing fast-paced. But this is running without a hitch. The sound sounds great. It's a bit tinny, but I mean, we're talking little speakers here. Honestly, that's pretty neat. So in order to quit, we're gonna hit the menu button here in the center. Push up to exit game, and push A. Quick side note here is, here we are testing Sega Genesis. I was having tons and tons and tons of issues with my camera during filming. It's been an ongoing issue. This camera, it's time to go. So it looks like my PlayStation files that I transferred over, I have them in the bin and queue file, and they're in another subfolder in the PlayStation to kind of help organize it. And it doesn't look like the fun key really likes that file system. So gonna have to mess with this and maybe transfer the bin and queue file over that's not in a subfolder and see if that works that way. To turn off the system, it's super easy. You can just push the menu button here, and you can scroll down. Looks like there's certain themes, launchers, the power button, and volume. What you could also do is just shut the fun key and shut the fun key, and it will turn off. My camera is actually on its way out. I've had many glitches where the screen will just stutter, freak out, and rip the image in half. So I can't tell you how many times I've had to re-record footage that I've already captured that I didn't realize was corrupted. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out a lot. I'm hoping that we can get to that 1,000 subscriber mark here soon. It's kind of a fun goal. I can't believe we're so close to it. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next week, and take care.